What do you think of when you think of Christmas?
I think of the green trees and the light bulbs all around.
Family. Coming together with your family and your friends.
Gifts and joy, family together.
Family, gifts, it's Christmas. What do everybody think of? Like, I don't know, what did I get for Christmas and all things like that?
I think of presents and Santa Claus.
The time when like Jesus was born and presents.
Obviously Jesus, but obviously everyone thinks of presents, but that's not only the most important thing.
When I think of Christmas, definitely the nativity scene. Definitely baby Jesus and the manger, donkeys, camels.
I've gotten older and more mature, and I've realized the real meaning of Christmas, like Christ was born.
I love Christmas. It's very happy. I mean, I don't really think of like the religious aspect. I know a lot of people have been forgetting like what it's really about, but I think it's just very merry, cheerful time. I just love it.
What is the true meaning of Christmas to you?
It's tradition. It's a time when everybody gets together.
Bringing people together.
Just the gift of giving and being together as a family.
The birth of Jesus. The true meaning of Christmas is families coming together celebrating a holiday.
The true meaning of Christmas, I mean, I know it's supposed to be celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, but I just think it brings families together. It's a time of year where everybody's nice and happy and cheerful, and it's just a time of like giving, give back to the community.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King.
It's that time of year again. For many of us, it's a joyful time to commemorate the coming of the Savior of the world, Jesus Christ.
Born in a manger, he came to us as a child, wrapped in swaddling clothes.
We have many names for him, like the Messiah, Son of God, and Emmanuel, which means God with us.
In our Catholic faith, we celebrate the coming of the Son of God in many ways.
Not just on Christmas Day, when many exchange gifts with loved ones.
Or many happy children receive gifts from Santa Claus, or St. Nicholas as he's also known.
With so much excitement about gift giving and getting, we can sometimes lose sight of the entire origin and meaning of the Christmas celebration.
Sometimes the lines can be blurred as to whether it's a religious celebration or just another holiday.
Christmas, is it a holy day or a holiday? That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, and Merry Christmas. I'm Jess.
And I'm Jack. And this is Realfaith TV.
Our spotlight guest today, Leo, hails from the town of Bethlehem.
You're kidding. You mean the town where Jesus was born?
Oh, I meant to say Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, I guess that's cool too.
Anyway, we'll meet with him a little later in the show.
And we'll also hear from the teens of the street.
But first, let's meet our merry guests.
Okay, they are Jill, Lauren, Ijama, John, Vince, and Gina.
So, what do you guys think of when you think of Christmas? What does it mean to you?
I know when I first think about Christmas, I always think like, oh, we're celebrating Jesus' birthday again, you know. I always like this time of year, the family can get together and stuff like that.
I think a lot about the preparation that's going to ensue. Once you know Christmas is coming around in about a month, I think of all the things I'm going to have to start doing at school, decorating the hallways, learning Christmas songs all over again. It's a lot of work, but then there's a payoff at Christmas Day.
Yeah, the first thing I think of is Santa Claus, but I also think of Jesus and the time he was born and all that too.
I mean, the first thing I think of when I hear Christmas is Jesus, because about a year ago, I started to realize that Jesus is the real meaning of Christmas. It's not just about decorating and Santa Claus and all Christmas shopping and preparation, because people get stressed out, and it's not a time to get stressed out. It's a time to think of Jesus, and it's a joyful time.
You know, when I think about Christmas, I think about the presents and Christmas trees and the presents and Santa Claus and then presents, and I guess it's a little hard to think about Christmas these days without thinking about the gifts, especially in modern society.
This isn't entirely bad, as long as we don't forget the real meaning behind the celebration.
Sometimes the gifts we receive or give can help us grow in our understanding of our lives and even our faith.
But oftentimes, many of the more expensive gifts which we receive are marketed and released during the Christmas season.
What was it last year? People fighting over PlayStation 3?
Or the Nintendo Wii?
Oh yeah, I got one of those actually. It's one of the most memorable gifts I ever got.
Let's go back to the teens on the street and find out what was the most memorable gift they've ever received.
Let's check it out.
What was the most memorable Christmas present you ever received? My surfboard. My whole family uses it, so it's just really fun.
Nintendo 64, I wanted for like a year and I finally got it.
An Xbox 360. So, you know what I mean? That was a special present for me.
My PSP.
My iPod.
There's been quite a few. There's the cell phone, the laptop.
Oh, I don't know. They're all so good. My parents bought me a ticket to Ozfest, and I got to go that year. It was really cool.
Probably when I was younger, I got this Barbie Corvette little car that I used to drive around. It was so cute. I loved it. I was so happy. I got it from Santa.
When I was younger, I got a big Barbie dollhouse. That was my favorite present.
The most memorable Christmas gift that I've received was a skirt, because I didn't like that skirt. I totally freaked out when my mom gave it to me. And then I realized all the people around the world don't get to celebrate this Christmas, and I'm sitting here complaining that I even got a gift.
Can you share a special Christmas memory with me?
Not really, they all was special.
Every Christmas I have is a special memory.
Me and my family, we can't have like real trees because my dad and my grandma are allergic to them. So the one time, like, we got a tree, like a real one, and put it on the porch instead. So that was pretty special. Every year my cousins come down again, and just being with them is just amazing. Every year my family gets together, and like we always like open presents and sing happy birthday to Jesus.
Every Christmas, we go to my grandpa's house and celebrate with our entire family.
Well, every year on Christmas Day, we go to my aunt's house in Toms River, and that's always fun because everyone gets together and they have a huge Christmas tree, and that's fun.
I know when I was younger, I guess it was when I was really young, when I was first born, everyone in my family got me like a red-haired angel for Christmas because it's like, oh my gosh, we have a red-headed girl in the family. And now whenever we bring out our Christmas decorations, that's all I see, the red-headed angels that I got like for my first Christmas.
I have a real passion for the theater, and a couple Christmases ago, my mom and dad got me this big Broadway fake book, which has it says over 720 songs in it. So I sit with this throughout the year and just learn more musicals to expand my musical vocabulary.
My favorite and special gift was the St. Lucy statue. I had gotten her from my mom because St. Lucy is my favorite saint, and she was my confirmation name. And I've always prayed to her, and I just love her. I admire her very much.
This stocking, among many other things, are like one of my favorite things about like the gifts I received, because they not only like came from the heart. My friend, she made it for me, and everything she put inside, she made for me. And like every time I get a gift, people like make things for me because they know I like the simple things.
When asked about a special Christmas memory, many of the teens in the street talked about getting together with family members.
It's within our family that we carry on traditions, like the one teen on the street whose favorite memory was getting together with her family and singing happy birthday to Jesus.
Next, let's meet Leo. He'll tell us about a couple of his family traditions.
Each year in Advent, then, we have a wreath on our table with 4 candles. And for each week, we light another candle. We start with 1 candle and just go down all of them. And before each meal, we sing a verse of O Come, Emmanuel. And just like with the candles, on the first week, we sing 1 verse. The second, we sing 2 verses, and so on up until the 4th. And each year, we all sing, and all the older siblings try to do harmony, and we end up doing something like 5 different harmonies. Sounds really off tune, but that really always gives me a sense of fun. Just the act of participating in tradition just gives me one of those, really nice feelings. Near Christmas, our friends the Marlins have a talent show where everybody from both of our families, we all go to their house and we come up one by one. We've got little programs and everything, and we go up one by one and perform little skits or little poems that usually have things to do with Christmas. People, they act out, skits of Jesus in the manger. They had Herman the Not-So-Wise Man who came to see Jesus in the stable. We have a bunch of really funny and spiritual stuff that we come up with every year for that. Herman the Not-So-Wise Man is about a not-so-wise man who hears about the baby Jesus, and he goes to see him, and he's not rich or anything. He doesn't have any big gifts of, gold and frankincense, but he came to see Jesus, and he could tell that, even though Jesus couldn't speak, that Jesus smiled, and, he could tell that Jesus was thanking him just, for being there, just for coming to see Jesus, because, of course, in God's eyes, that's much greater than any really fancy gift of gold or frankincense or myrrh.
Those are two really great traditions. I know since, for as long as I can remember, I've been sleeping with these little dolls. It's a Precious Moments Mary's doll and her little baby Jesus. I guess my mom put them in my room when I was younger to just always remind me what the real meaning of the season was about.
I know in my family, I'm part Polish, so one of the big traditions that we have is we have this thing called Oplatek, which is basically like communion wafers, just like in a sheet like this. And everybody gets a piece of the sheet, and then you go around to everybody and you break off a little piece and you say you love them and Merry Christmas. And it's just a nice time to reflect on all the good memories that you've shared together.
My family and I were Filipinos, so we hang up paroles, which are little like star lanterns, and it basically represents the North Star. And you know how the three kings followed the North Star to find baby Jesus. This is our way of showing people that we believe that God is with us in our house during the Christmas season.
I also have two traditions. One is called Las Posadas. That's like, we're Hispanic, so that's what it's called in Spanish. So we go around people's houses. We did it in our youth group, we did it. So we went to each other's houses and we would like sing Christmas carols, and it was just like, something nice during the time of Christmas. And the second one we do is, it's called El Día de los Tres Reyes Magos. It's also known as the Feast of the Epiphany. It's January 6th. And it's like when the three kings went to leave like the gifts to God when he was born. And it's something really nice because we give gifts to like the little kids that don't have, don't get gifts. And every other year we'll go to Ecuador and we'll give gifts to the kids like on our street that don't like get gifts usually, because it's something really nice because they're not used to getting presents.
I have a very simple tradition. We watch A Charlie Brown Christmas every Christmas Eve, and I love A Charlie Brown Christmas so much because in the middle of it, everyone's all like, oh, Charlie Brown, look at the tree you got, and Linus gives this speech about it's important to remember what Christmas is really about, and it's just really cute to have it in a cartoon and all, just very nice.
Yeah, I also watch this Christmas shows on TV, especially A Christmas Story, which is one of my favorite Christmas shows that airs during Christmas season.
I don't really have a main family tradition. That at my school, they have me play piano for some of the masses and some of the other programs we have, like open houses. Hopefully, as I go on through the next couple of years of high school, they'll allow me to play Christmas music like I did last year for the Advent season.
Yeah, I know in my house, the week before Christmas, we always get our tree really late, our Christmas tree really, really late. So we always end up with some runty tree or whatever. We go to the Christmas tree farm, there's like one left in the corner or something. So we bring it home, we get in the car, we bring it home, and then we have boxes of ornaments, because I'm oldest of 5 kids, and every kid gets a new ornament every Christmas. It's like that year's ornament, like we each get one of those. And so we have boxes of ornaments. So we bring them down, and we put on Christmas music, and we start putting the ornaments on the tree and everything. And that's kind of like our Christmas tradition that brings the family together in the week before Christmas and puts us in the Christmas mood, And then we watch It's a Wonderful Life on TV, which is one of my favorite movies, and I cry every time at the ending. I've seen it like 15 times, cried every time. It's one of my favorites.
I know my family's the same way. We always wait till the last minute to get our tree because they're so busy. And then we bring up our boxes of ornaments. We have so many ornaments, like tens of thousands of ornaments. We bring up all these boxes, and we try and fit them all into this little tree that we got at the last minute. And I remember like one year our tree fell over because we tried to get all the ornaments on. And it was never meant to be a tradition, but it just kind of ended up like that because it's always just what happens.
These are all great traditions to connect ourselves with the sacredness of Christmas. But nowadays, I don't know, is it just me, or do any of you notice that the money changers of today are capitalizing on our holy day and making it more of a holiday?
For me, it's kind of like both, a holiday and a holy day.
Let's find out whether the teens on the street view Christmas as a holy day or a holiday.
And if they think that it's been commercialized in the United States.
Do you think of Christmas as a holiday or a holy day?
Holiday.
A holiday.
a holiday.
I think of it more as a holiday. I mean, I know it is a holy day.
It's more of a holy day, but people treat it more as a holiday.
When we go over each other's house, I think of it as a holiday, but like when I go to church, it's definitely a holy day.
Both. Because Jesus was born, but then it's time for your entire family to get together and just spend time with them.
Everyone usually like doesn't really think of it as like a holy day. It's usually more of a holiday, but it's really both.
It's a holy day and it's a holiday because everyone gets off of work and everyone comes together even though they might not necessarily be Christian, Catholic, or celebrating Christmas itself.
A holy day because we're representing God, and also a holiday because we're also giving out gifts to family members and stuff and friends.
You kind of have to think of it as a holy day, but I mean, I think a lot of people think of it as a holiday more often than not.
A holy day, because it's representing what Jesus was born for, peace among men.
Do you think Christmas has been commercialized in the United States?
Yes.
How so?
Because like on TV and stuff, like all they really show is like presents that like, you get for Christmas, or like not anything about like why Christmas is actually here.
Absolutely, it's horrible nowadays.
There's a lot of like advertisements just for presents and getting money. And
They promote all these new gifts. They're like, oh, get this for your son or daughter, the best Christmas gift ever.
Do you think Christmas has been commercialized in the United States?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all over. Everyone's into Christmas. Everything's about Christmas. Everything's about Santa Claus.
I have no idea. Maybe.
A little bit, but not too much.
Oh, definitely. I think it's more about the gifts now than the true meaning of it.
Last year, Americans spent approximately $154 billion on Christmas.
There's a debate about the displaying of creche or nativity scene on public property.
And all across the nation, schools struggle with what music can be performed at their winter concerts.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that Christmas has become commercialized and viewed as more of a holiday than a holy day?
Of course. I mean, I don't even think it's a secret anymore. Like, if people have to like fight over like, oh, I got the better Christmas gift, then something's happening. Like, no one's really concentrated on the real meaning of Christmas, and it's very important because things can get crazy out there, you know?
There were like unofficial slogans going on, like keep Christ in Christmas, because oftentimes we forget like what the true meaning is, that Christ is first in Christmas. Christ is always there. But do we always keep him there in our actions? Like my favorite is like when I go Christmas shopping and I see people like pushing like, oh, I want that item, or if like there's one left and people are arguing over who gets it. Like, is that what Christ would want us to do to celebrate his birthday?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it started out as a Christian holiday, and now people are trying to take the Christ out of Christmas and put in Xmas and everything. Like, even if you take Christ out, the original meaning was Christ's Mass. So even if you take the Christ out, it's still a Mass. It's still a Christian holiday. And I think people need to remember that and remember the spirit of the day.
I know, like, I remember I went to church on Christmas Day one time, and the priest, he was getting ready to say a sermon. Everyone was expecting, a nice lighthearted sermon, like it was Christmas, everyone was happy. And he came down and he was very adamant in what he was saying, taking the Christ out of Christmas, things like that. And he really like challenged everybody to look at the reality, to look at how materialistic it's become. It's been over 2,000 years since Jesus' birth, and his message is still relevant to our lives today.
It's easy to lose sight of the significance of the message in the hustle and bustle of the Christmas shopping season. 10 shopping days till Christmas!
Seriously though, it's a tough balancing act. You don't want to give in to all the materialism, but you still, want to buy gifts for your friends and family and for yourself. If you see a dress that's marked 50% off, it's a sale's a sale. I'm going to buy it for my winter cantering.
Look, I'm not saying don't buy the amazing dress at the rock bottom price. I'm just saying don't spend the whole Christmas season looking for the best sales and shopping. Spend some of that time with your family. Spend some of that time with God.
It's true. Thanks, Jack. That's great advice. I'm going to go buy that dress after the show. Just kidding.
Let's see what suggestions the teens on the street have for focusing on the real meaning of Christmas, and if they believe that people want Christmas to be a more spiritual experience.
Do you believe that people want Christmas to be a more spiritual experience? Why or why not?
Yeah, because I think a lot of people forget what Christmas is really about, and not just about all presents.
I'm not really sure what the whole general people think, but I guess a few people do want it to be more spiritual than it is.
Nowadays, people have lost their faith. However, there are a few people who would like it to be a more spiritual holiday, but not mainstream.
I want it to be more spiritual too.
They definitely want it to be more commercial because these days everything's about money.
The people I know, they want it to be more spiritual.
I'm sure a lot of people do, but most kids don't.
I believe wish it wasn't so commercialized, but a lot of people really don't. They just see past all the religious stuff and just think of it as a time to give and receive presents.
Yeah, they see that it's getting too commercialized and it's too much about presents and stuff and not enough about faith.
What are some suggestions you have to try to focus on the real meaning of Christmas?
Believe in God and find out the story and
Have more people go to school, Bible school, and study God more.
You have to let Christians do what they want. You have to let them have the nativity scenes up. You have to let them do all these special things, because this is the one day of the year where you get to celebrate the birth of Jesus.
To focus on the real meaning of Christmas, you'd first have to understand the story of Christ being born and the Easter and everything. And then you gotta look past all that and say like what you're thankful for.
Maybe like advertise Jesus more.
Just family, it's all your parents really. I think it's all the parents' fault now.
To make it more about family and tradition and not so much about the material part of it.
I think that everybody should just really learn what it's all about. Maybe like instead of getting so many gifts for each other, you can donate some to charity for people that are less fortunate, and they should just really try to focus on the spiritual aspect because nobody does anymore.
I think that those who truly know the meaning of the Christmas celebration can't reject it or ignore it.
It's so amazing when you think about the mystery of the Incarnation, that God became man. When he took the form of a man, he never ceased being God.
Through the Incarnation, God tells us that the creation is so good.
That God himself has chosen to become a part of it.
By doing this, God redeems all creation from the stain that sin has placed on it.
Next, Leo tells us more about God coming to us as the Christ child.
He's God. He created us and everything, but he didn't come down, with escorts. He didn't come down in, big clouds of thunder and stuff. He just came down like a normal human being. He just wanted to, be among us and, to teach people, set the foundations for his church, and just let it grow from there, the faithful people who followed him.
The Gospel of John, chapter 1 reads, "The Word of God became flesh and made his dwelling among us.
And we saw his glory, the glory as of the Father's only Son, full of grace and truth."
With the incarnation of basically Jesus coming to earth and being born, he was full man and full God. He didn't abandon God to become man, but still took on the entire form of man, which is amazing.
Jesus is the meaning of the season, and that's all that's important. That's what it means. That's the meaning of Christmas.
To me, the meaning of Christmas is just like it's a time to be with your family, the time of celebration. God is born, Christ is born, and also it's just that time, that it's everyone is happy and just it's like you just look past like the presents and everything. The real gift is like God giving you the chance to be with your family.
Next, Leo tells us that there's always hope. Although Christmas has been commercialized, there's some good in the love and giving that is shared, even if it isn't always in Jesus' name.
Because love comes from God, and God is love.
Loving and giving are still doctrines, that Jesus taught, things that Jesus told us to do. And if a secular kid, say, gets into, the spirit of loving and giving and being kind to others, then that's already a step toward God, because God is love. Just take, basically, your celebration of Christmas, just, the fun and games and stuff, and just kind of infuse a little faith into it. Just, with cookies, you cut out, some little Bethlehem Star cookies, sing some Christmas carols, and look at a Bible and read the story of Christianity. You don't have to change that much of the celebration, just simply make it a little more religious. And if you've got that kind of subtly infused into your celebration, it'll stick more in your mind.
One way my family and I really stay focused on the meaning of Christmas is on December 15th, we start celebrating something called Simbang, which translates into Midnight Mass. And it's basically like a countdown getting ready for the coming of Jesus Christ. Every night we gather at the church and we pray, we sing songs, and it's a really happy time to get close to your community.
I think another way to focus on the meaning of Christmas is to be aware and to try to remember and, randomly, throughout the Christmas season, try and focus on it, try and internalize it. And, also keep in mind that, America and the government doesn't own Christmas. It's for your religion. It's a way of getting closer to God.
How do we continue to tell the story of Christmas to our children and avoid commercialization of the sacred holy day?
Tell the Christmas story.
Read the Bible passages about the birth of Jesus.
Listen and sing Christmas carols, especially ones that tell the Christmas story.
Most importantly, welcome Jesus into your heart every day and share his peace and love with the people you meet.
Do you have a special Christmas memory to share with us?
We'd like to hear from you. Contact us through our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or you can call us at 609-406-7402.
And to get you a little more into the Christmas spirit, we'll leave you today with a song.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
Real Faith TV. God bless.